Haven't really thought of an intro, but I honestly do not care. So I gotta make sure my Twitch is muted. Great. So I'm streaming this on Twitch, Martian RL. And this is obviously going on YouTube. Last time I got a lot more views than I was expecting, so I'm doing this as fast as possible to get it to you guys as soon as possible. Hopefully more people want to watch my predictions and how horribly they're going to go, because nothing can actually be predicted correctly in this esport. So let's get right into it then. We got the wild card seedings today. That was done on first touch with the draft. I was very hyped for that. I was clapping. I was doing the whole, with the third pick, they select this team. So let's get into it. Oh my gosh, Adam is amazing. Adam Core RL, fantastic. Follow him on Twitter. He's clutch. Follow me on Twitter while you're at it. That's Martian Turtle GG. I need to figure out my handles. There's way too many of them. If anyone wants to give me the Martian handle on literally any platform, I'll take it. I have it on Juked. We'll start there, and then maybe I'll get it on something better once I actually become relevant. So, let's just start. We got Swiss for the first round. All these teams on the left selected the team they were facing on the right, with the exception of Tokyo Verde. They kind of got stuck with Optic Gaming. But we'll start. Version 1, Orlando Pirates, 3-0. I don't think SSA is going to put up a fight. This is their first international LAN. It's the first time we're going to be seeing them, and so I don't think they're going to stand much of a chance. Renegades Bravado. A lot of people are saying Bravado could pull the upset. I still think that OCE is worlds ahead of Bravado. I don't think it's actually close. I think that's also going to be a 3-0, and people might be looking at that for an upset potential, but I think it's going to be a runaway series. Maybe one of the games is close, but for sure, Renegades takes that. Dignitas Gaiman Gladiators. Rumor has it right now that Abs Crazy might not be able to get a visa and be there on time. And so even if that was the case, I'm not sure it's a contest. It's a 3-0 from Dig. I know they haven't been in the best of forms, but I don't think Gladiators even comes close to holding a torch against them. Space Station Gaming against the Club. This is the first one, or this was the first pick that I thought was actually interesting in the draft. Obviously, we kind of figured that these three were going to be going first. And so beyond that, it was kind of a toss-up, where would each team land? I thought the Club was the right choice for Space Station. I was clapping when they picked that one up. Not surprised we did. And we went 3-1 against Team Secret. And I'm contemplating giving Space Station giving the Club the first game, because Space Station does know how to start slow. I think I'll do that. I think it'll be a 3-1. Carmine Corps and O1 Esports. I'm going to keep drinking throughout this, because I've been nonstop talking for the last 3 days, and talking fast on stream is not going to help that. Carmine Corps O1. This is one where people were surprised to see Carmine Corps actually pick up the Middle East. I think some people thought Middle East was going to go, 7-8, like down here, due to Falcon's performance in the winter, or in the spring major. I'm not surprised Carmine Corps picked up 0-1. That's what I actually predicted. I think my predictions were correct, with the exception of these two. Like, these two weren't correct, and then I think I had Semper here and Veloce here, and then Optics still ended up with Verdi. So, yeah. These two switch and these two switch were my predictions. But in terms of Carmine Corps and O1 Esports, I think it will be close. I think it'll be a 3-2. I think O1's going to put up a real big fight. I think they will get lucky in Game 4 to force a Game 5, and then Carmine Corps is going to easily take the Game 5. This is one. Pioneers, everyone was surprised to see Veloce picked. I'm going to do this prediction assuming that Veloce makes it, because it actually doesn't change how I think. I think Pioneers takes this one in 5 as well. I think that's not where that goes. I think there was a lot of... I think in the first round, the narrative is going to be that there's panic around the Middle Eastern region, because they're only a one-team region. Like, after the first day, everyone's going to be like, Falcons are the only good team. They dominated 9 series wins for a reason. And people are going to be saying that the other two teams from MENA don't stand a chance, especially after Pioneers take down Veloce. That's going to be the surprising one. Team Secret and Semper. Semper got all their points with Archie. I really do not think that they're going to go very far in this. It might be harsh, but it's a statement of fact. I think this is the first time that Team Secret takes... Actually, that's not true. They beat the 1 seed of Europe. What am I saying? They win. They win 3-1. They go back to beating European teams. There we go. Tokyo Verde and Optic, this is not close. This is a 3-0. for Optic. And can I please put the 3 in the correct spot? And so, with these results, these are the matchups we get. We get version 1 Pioneers. I'm going to scroll over so that we can fully see. I'll check to see if that actually is visible later. Version 1 against Pioneers. I want to give it to Pioneers, but I know I simply cannot. Version 1 is the better team. I'll give Pioneers 1 game. Out of respect, I think they're a quality team. I really want them to make it through Swiss, and I'm going to try to predict that they do. But if the matchups don't line up correctly, then they don't. And right now, they don't line up correctly. They cannot beat V1. Renegades Carmine Corps, this is not close. Renegades, 3-0 swept. I'm going to start predicting a lot more 3-0s in the matches that I think are one-sided because of how Spring Major went. Obviously, there were a ton of sweeps there, whether they were upsets or not. And I think if I think it's a clear favorite that is going to absolutely win the series, I'm not going to give, a game to Renegades out of pity or out of respect. I did that for Pioneers because I genuinely think they could take a game off in version 1. Renegades, I do not see taking a game off of K-Core. I think Astral is just too good. And he's got way too many supports, including the version 2 player, Nolly, from my Reddit fantasy draft. I'm glad that he is doing well on this team and hope that, obviously, I have a little bit of stake in Carmine Corps and version 1 both doing well. So, Dignitas Team Secret. This is a real test. This is a real test. Because Team Secret did beat BDS, and then they ended up faltering. They didn't get swept against SSG, but they did get swept against Optic. I think while it's a test, we do see... What's the storyline? Because people are saying Dig aren't going to make it out of Swiss. And Team Secret... Does Team Secret... I think I have to. I think I have to go with Team Secret here. I think it's going to be... I'll give Dignitas 1, but I think it's going to... All right, I'll give him 2 because that's what I hit on the keyboard. But I think it's... Now I'll go back to 1. I think it's got to go to Team Secret. It just has to. Because then you have... This is like the unexpected. Like, there's no real reasoning behind why you pick this. Normally, you'd expect Dignitas to win. But the narrative of Dignitas losing, going 1-1 after day 2, and then Team Secret being one of the 2-0 teams, that's just a narrative that feels like it would happen. So, Team Secret over Dignitas. Space Station Optic, this is not going to be close. This is also going to be a 3-1 in favor of Space Station. Mist is going to have a really nasty double tap to basically get one of the games. Actually, he'll probably have it in a game that they lose because it's a very well-known fact that whoever scores the best goal in a game normally loses. So, yeah, Space Station 3-1 over Optic. Veloce Bravado. All right. It should be able to calculate the high matches, but it's just not doing that right now. This one's not close. Bravado fall 3-0. Veloce looked good doing it. Like, they look like a team that should not have lost to Pioneers. Good. And I'm saying that as respect for Pioneers. I think Pioneers are a great team. But when Veloce wins this 3-0, they will be firing on so many cylinders that they look like they never should have lost. It looks like they're playing Diamond 1s. And I'm not saying that because Bravado's Diamond 1s. I'm saying that's how good the competition, that's how good Veloce is playing. Hopefully I've hammered that point home enough. 0-1 against Gaiman. This is going to be a 3-0 as well. Especially if Abs Crazy isn't there. If he is, then maybe there's one game back, but I still think it'll probably be a 3-0. Semper Orlando, I think this is also not even close. All the APAC teams got stuck in the bottom, so they're going to all be facing O2s, which is going to be one of the more fun series. I am looking forward to those. But this is going to be a Semper 3-0. And then the club versus Tokyo Verde. I think this is where Tokyo Verde picks up their first LAN win. I'll give Tokyo Verde 1. All right, so now I'm going to scroll up. Hopefully we can see all this. Start with version 1 and Team Secret. And while I do have Team Secret going 2-0, they will not sweep the Swiss. They will fall to version 1 3-1. I'll give it a 3-0. Space Station Carmine Corps. This one's fun because I think a lot of people came out of the Spring Major thinking that while Carmine Corps placed higher than Space Station, there's a pretty good chance Space Station would have beaten them in a series. I obviously think that with my bias, but I know that's probably sentiment around the community. And I saw that when doing my power rankings post event. And I think if you asked most people, they would have said, yeah, Space Station does take it. But all due respect to Carmine Corps for making top 4. Obviously, that is no small feat, and that was huge for that team and really the organization in Rocket League, in my opinion. I think they will have the chance. I think this will go to 5. I think it will go to 5. It might be a reverse sweep because that's how Space Station plays. I could see us reverse sweeping this one. I don't want to predict that because I want to live for, a couple more years and not have that taken off my life. But I do have it Space Station 3-2 over Carmine Corps in a fantastic matchup. That one's going to be probably series of the wild card. With the exception of it's probably going to get beat by a round 5 match. Now that I think about it. But in terms of how the schedule is, let's search this briefly. World Primer. Because it's going to come in on day 3, right? Yep, all the teams, etc. So yeah, it will come in on day 3. It will be like the second match of the day, I believe. At least according to how the spreadsheet worked out. So yeah, I'll have Space Station there, and I'll get to actually watch that series. Please let Space Station sweep 3-0. I cannot watch Sunday live because I'm going to a wedding. So please just get it over with. I will lose my mind if I have to sit there through that wedding. I will obviously be happy for the wedding, but I will kind of be losing my mind the minute I get home. I am plugging into my computer. I'll probably do that anyways, but I'll be much more stressed if I have to do that. So, Dignitas the club. They have already lost Team Secret. I think they will figure out the same formula and take down the club 3-1, but game 1 will soundly go in favor of the club, so people get worried. They're going to all panic, and then Dignitas is going to win overtime in game 2 and run away with the series. These are very specific predictions for games that could possibly never happen, but I'm making them anyways. Optic Semper. This is this is NA6 versus EU6. They were the 2 teams who were drafted. They didn't get a chance to draft another team in the wild card, and obviously they're not in the main event. So Optic Semper, I think it's actually not close because of what I said about Semper earlier. They're just going to lose. Optic Gaming takes that. Renegades Veloce. This is interesting. Ooh, I actually like this because the next matchup is also OCE versus Mina. This is the OCE 1 seed against the against the Mina 2 seed, and then the OCE 2 seed against the Mina 3 seed. Now, the OCE seeds don't mean anything in my opinion. Pioneers are obviously the better team. Renegades just got more points than them in the beginning of the season, and they're only separated by a couple dozen at most. The first one goes in favor of Veloce. I'll give it 3-1. In a kind of entertaining series, I'll have Game 4 go to overtime there, just so that there's suspense, but then Veloce takes it. Wait, it's Renegades Veloce. It's going to be an own goal. It's going to be a Game 4 OT own goal. Oh my gosh, and every single fan who watched Worlds Season 8 is going to be going insane. Oh my gosh. Kami's going to chuck a sickie, isn't he? Oh my god. If that actually happens, I will lose my mind and then clip this and put it on Reddit. I have Kami chucking a sickie in Game 4 overtime in Renegades versus Veloce. Pioneers will take it over on esports. That'll be I'll put it 3-2. Tokyo Verde and Bravado. This is where it gets interesting, and these are some of the matches I am most excited for this World Championship. This is how, obviously we knew Mina was pretty talented due to Johnny Boy's efforts to bring them into the scene. We saw Sandrock tear up TEI, and so we knew they had potential the entire time. We've not really seen any potential out of APAC or SSA, and I'm wondering how the two regions match up against each other. This is our chance to see that. Tokyo Verde against Bravado. This will be Tokyo Verde and APAC's first series win on LAN. That's not the right thing. I'll give it 3-1. Pirates against Gladiators. This one, unfortunately, does change based on visa status. If Abs Crazy makes this, then I have no doubt that Gladiators win this match. But assuming he doesn't, I think it will be Pirates 3-2. I'll predict this if Abs Crazy makes it. I have no idea who they mentioned the sub is going for sure, but I have no idea who the sub for Diamond Gladiators is. If you're subbing for a team in APAC, no offense to the guy, but it's tough, I guess, to measure up to that standard. Hopefully, he's like a mechanical hidden player, but I feel like there's not going to be too many of those before you find out, oh, shoot, this guy's good, and you try to get him onto a team and then just put two people who are competent around him, and all of a sudden you got a top 4 team. Now we are on to round 4 matches. Yes, we can see it all, thank goodness. I don't need to scroll anymore for the wild card. So Carmine Corps Pioneers in the high matches. I'm contemplating giving it to Pioneers. I think it goes 5. But yeah, I have to give it to Carmine Corps. Oh, can I please just edit the document correctly? Team Secret Optic. I'll give Team Secret 1 game this time, but Optic will still have their number. I was wondering if Team Secret was going to draft Optic because they ended up picking Semper here, and I think Semper is probably smarter, but I was wondering if they were going to be like, yep, that matches our play style. Like, we know how they're going to operate. Let's pick them. Veloce Dignitas. We are assuming that Veloce makes this event pretty hard in these predictions. But if these two face off, it's a 3-2 in favor of Veloce. It'll go 5. 01 Tokyo Verde. This is where Tokyo Verde falls. I'll give Tokyo Verde 1. That way people are questioning if 01 Esports is going to make it through. Obviously, they will have made it to the final round. And then Semper Gladiators. This one goes to Semper without a doubt in my mind. 3-1, assuming that Abs Crazy is there. And since I have them beating Pirates, I'll say that Abs Crazy is there. Renegades, the club. It's... What else can I say other than it's OCE versus Sam? If I made any other prediction, it'd just be inaccurate. Dignitas Semper. Wow. The fall major grudge match. Granted, Archie carried them. It's a very different team with Archie at the helm than Exotic. And for that reason, 3-0. Dignitas makes it through. Pioneers Renegades. I did not think it was going to come down to this. Oh my gosh. 2 OCE teams in the final. No. It's 3-1. 3-1 for Pioneers. This is another one of those matches that I think is going to be one of the best series of the wild cards. It's going to be Team Secret 01, and it's going to be 3-2 Game 5 overtime for Team Secret. And they're going to get so loud. They're going to tear the roof off of the place with how loud they're being. It's going to be the final match of the day. It'll be, we'll have a day break from Rocket League as they transition into the main event. But this is going to be the highlight of the wild card. Other highlights will be this matchup here and these two matchups. This one will be pretty hype as well, but not in terms of quality gameplay. Sorry. So, Swiss results. Version 1 comes out of it with the 1 seed. They did not sweep entirely because of the Pioneers. Space Station played it a lot closer, but they get this other 3-0. And then Veloce, Optic, Carmine. I have some NA bias, but I just do think that the NA teams are much better in this wildcard event. Optic, everyone kind of underrated them, but they have missed. Keep that in mind. Then Carmine Corps, Dignitas. People are saying Dignitas aren't going to make it and they're going to choke. It's going to be very difficult to choke, especially if they're up against Semper. I just think Semper has a much less chance of making it than Dignitas. If I had to pick a team from here that sneaks through that somehow I didn't manage to get, it would be It'd be either of these two teams. It'd be O1 or Renegades, and they would be over Dignitas or over Team Secret. Obviously, I have that coin flip at the end. But, all right. On to the main event. Moist Team Secret to open up, and this is going to be a shellacking, 4-0. And people are going to be saying that O1 would have put up a better fight, and that simply won't have been true, but people will be saying it. My goodness, we have Furia version 1, round 1. Oh my gosh. It goes 7. It goes 7, and we get Moist version 1 on LAN yet again. BDS Carmine Core. It's a 4-2. Oh, wait, but does BDS regain? It's in front of a crowd. Not enough of the blue wall made it, so it's not going to be a biased crowd. Except for the fact that I think more people will cheer for Carmine Core from NA than they will for BDS. There's too much pressure. I have them losing again. They'll pick up games. They'll pick up wins of individual games in front of the crowd for the first time. They will not pick up the series. Falcons Veloce. Wow. 2 MENA teams. It's 4-1 for Falcons. But that's surprising. My goodness. I'll finish Group A first. We're not going to be able to... Yeah, we will. Nice. Or should I... I'll work in chronological order still. So, yep. And then the next will be Group B in day 2. So I'll go over here and scroll down a tad. Yeah, we can see enough for now. G2 Pioneers. This one, I'll give Pioneers 1, but I think it will be a rout. I don't think Pioneers has any chance of actually beating G2. Despite the fact that people were saying G2 were going to choke their way out of this one again. I don't think that's possible against Pioneers. Endpoint Space Station. I don't think it's close. I know Archie's solid. I think a lot of people had this. I mean, keep in mind what happened on LAN in Spring Major. Like, Endpoint bombed out. 0-6, done. So I'll give them 1 game. I'll give them 2. Space Station will have a few off days. They might lose the first 2 and then get 4 straight. I could see that being the case. FaZe Clan Dignitas. This one's exciting. These are the 2 teams. Like, after the Fall Major, FaZe Clan hadn't lost to an EU team. Dignitas hadn't lost to an NA team. And I wanted that rivalry to continue throughout the year, where they never ended up facing each other and only got knocked out by their own region until something big like the World Championship came around. Obviously, Dignitas' chances for winning Worlds have kind of plummeted since the spring split started. FaZe is still up there, and I don't think Dignitas holds a candle to FaZe right now. It's a 4-1 in favor of FaZe Clan, and they'll move on. And then we have 4 NAs in the upper semifinal bracket. There's only 1 NA in Group A. That's absurd. How did that happen? This is not close. They don't sub in Turbo. They do get... Optic will get 2. But I do think... Oh, wait, but it's NRG after... I think they'll feed on the crowd. This is the first time we'll see NRG in front of a crowd since the last World Championship. Let's go on NRG. And then we have NRG FaZe. Oh, it's so poetic, dude. It's so poetic. These matches are going to be amazing. Okay. Back to Group A because our August 11th is the upper semifinals. Please go to the right tab. Moist version 1. Now, at the start of the winter and the spring majors, version 1 beat Moist. However, a lot of that was due to the studio. And I'm going to keep that narrative and have Moist Esports winning. It will go to Game 7 out of respect for the fact that version 1 has taken the first matches off of Moist every time they've met in a major. But because that Moist isn't going to be able to tell what Com is doing as much, it's going to go to Moist in the end, and they will be the first team qualified to the playoffs. Carmine Corps Falcons. This one, another hype matchup. I think I want to give it a game 7 as well. We got so many game 7s in spring that it's hard to not predict game 7 for every single match now because we know it's possible. So, in that spirit, I'll give it to Team Falcons 4-3. It'll be a super hype matchup, but I think game 7 will be a 2-goal differential. This one will be a 1-goal differential in game 7. I don't think it'll be a 0-second goal. I think Rise scores in the last 15 seconds. So support the ice narrative without it being the most hyped goal of the tournament. This one will be a more solid game 7 in favor of Falcons. They'll be up by 2 by the end of it. Upper semifinals over here, G2 Space Station. My bias is going to show here because I am having Space Station win this. Obviously, there's a lot of expectations on G2, whether it be to win it all or whether it be that they're going to choke again like they did in the spring. I'll have it go to 7. It will not be a reverse sweep. It will be one of the best matches, it's 3 game 7s in a row. And then I think FaZe Clan and NRG are going to disappoint us, but they're also going to slightly not disappoint us because FaZe Clan will take it. So, this is probably one of the more controversial picks that I have right now. That being said, it's all on coin flip on a day, and I will let my bias bleed through because I think this will be the time we finally are able to beat the new G2 roster. If there's ever a time to show up, it's going to be on the World Championship stage, and I think Arsenal and Daniel and Riddles absolutely will. Specifically Arsenal, that's why I listed him first. I think he will bring so much hype and so much energy, and then the rest of the team will be able to feed off that. Daniel's going to hit some nutty clips, and Riddles will just be the most solid he's ever played. Lower quarterfinals. I'll do these 2 and then these 2 and then these 2 and these 2. Team Secret Furia, matchup from Sam on LAN. Somehow all the regions are facing each other in this, but it doesn't matter. Goes to Furia 4-2. And we get the grudge match. Oh, it's so poetic, dude. It's so poetic. BDS Veloce. Do I do it? Do I actually do it? No, I can't. I can't do it. Oh, we don't know if Veloce's even going to make it. It goes to BDS. It goes to BDS 4-2. I will give them a chance. No. Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Oh, no. Pioneers Endpoint. Pioneers take this one. They will get top 12 at Worlds. I almost want to say mark my words because I believe very firmly in it happening. If they get this draw, if they get Endpoint here, they will win. 4-2. Pioneers. Wait a sec. Did we bring back Old Net? Focus. Dignitas Optic. A lot of people underrating Optic. Dignitas are the 4 seed coming out. Did Carmine Corps pass them? No, they didn't. Dignitas are the 4 seed coming out of EU. This one I think will surprise people. A lot of people are saying Dignitas aren't going to make it. I think this is the game where they show that they are the stuff because a lot of people are starting to rate Optic better. I think Dignitas show up. I'll get this one a 4-3 just so that we mix it up and not all game 6s on that day. But Dignitas will ice up and beat Optic Gaming. And oh boy, that'll be fun. Okay. Back to Group A. Carmine Corps Furia. Do Furia miss out on top 8 and lose to Carmine Corps? Oh my gosh. I shouldn't have looked at who they play. I looked at who the winner plays. Oh wait, no, I looked wrong. Okay. So it does. I thought they were going to play Falcons. Okay. History repeats itself. I hate to say it, but history repeats itself. Carmine Corps take down Furia for a 3rd time in a row on LAN, and this gets Furia pissed. If they ever meet on LAN next season, it's going to Furia in a sweep. Don't get me wrong. But to close out the season, it will be Carmine Corps barely edging it out, and then Furia fans will start calling for a rivalry, and it'll be one of the most exciting storylines watching these two teams go at it every single LAN next season. Assuming Karmine Corp makes every single LAN, I think there's going to be a lot more qualified European teams, but that's besides the point. Version 1 BDS. Version 1's a really solid team. They are always on the upswing. I obviously drafted Version 2. I want them to place top 8, but it's BDS. Com's going to tilt them so hard, though. Com is going to tilt them out of their minds. We will get Monkey Moon desk slams. Seiko won't know what to do. Extra will be sitting there trying to hold the ship together while it all falls apart. But do I really have BDS Miski? Yes, I do. 4-3. Version 1. Clutch up with the ice. This is going to feel, this Pioneers against NRG series is going to feel impossible when it's actually happening. But we are bringing back the storylines from seasons past. How many times has it's at least happened once. I don't know if it's happened more than once because I wasn't watching then. But I'm thinking back to season 6. 4-1 Pioneers. In that game 5 is going to be one of the most unreal feelings because everyone will be like, I think it'll be a close series and Pioneers will barely scrape out wins, and so they'll get up to the 3-1 lead. But people will be like, okay, but it's still going to 7. This still feels like it's going to 7. This is still NRG series. And then Pioneers come out and win game 5 by like 6 points. Maybe not 6. That's over dramatic. 4. It'll feel unreal. People will be like, this is actually happening right now? Pioneers over NRG. G2 Dignitas. Both teams expected to choke. Who can choke the least? I've had Dignitas making it thus far. They took out the NA 6 seed 4-3. I don't think they'll have it G2. G2 will make the final day. It'll be close, but they'll make it. So what do we have? Oh my gosh. Moist G2 opening round. Okay. My initial line of thinking is that it has to go to game 7. Which means the result is already sealed, because if Moist Esports get on match point, they will not lose it. G2 will go up 3-2. Moist will get game 6, and everyone will already know that the series is over. Despite the game 7 overtime, Moist Esports will clutch up by the hands of Rise. People, this is opening the day on Sunday. People will be saying the series will not get better than this. And they will. FaZe Clan Karmine Corp. This is interesting. This is not a matchup I expected to ever see. Straight up. For the record, there's 4 teams from Wild Cards in this final bracket. I think it'll go to FaZe Clan. I think it's going to be 4-2. It's going to be a very respectable end of the season for Karmine Corp. Some of their fans might be upset because there might be a couple things in the series that definitely should have gone their way that didn't. But overall, it will be a fantastic end of the season for Karmine Corp as they will go out 5-8 at the World Championship. After a very rocky start, they'll end up falling, and it'll be like, okay, that actually went better than we thought after winter. Space Station version 1. This is going to be a hype matchup. This is going to be insane. Version 1 has had Space Station's number the past 2 times. I'm thinking back to a game 5 overtime when Space Station went out 9-12. I'm thinking back to another game 7. I think it may have gone overtime as well, where Space Station lost to version 1. This time it's on LAN. I think that helps both teams. It'll be an exciting series. It has to go to game 7, but Daniel will have the ice. Everyone was touting him for his 0-second goals in his first Grand Finals against NRG, and he will hit a 0-second goal to win the series against version 1. He is that guy. Falcons Pioneers. This is a hype matchup for top 8. This is a very hype matchup for top 8. Oh my gosh. It's got to go to Falcons. Like, it's pretty obvious that it has to go to Falcons. I'll give Pioneers 2. I think Falcons will look shakier than expected for those 2 games, but otherwise they will look dominant. Oh my, I already know how I'm ending this. I know how I'm ending this, and I'm going to be called the most biased predictor of all time. But guys, it's for the storylines. It's for the storylines. Moist beat FaZe Clan. This is a matchup I wanted to see for a very long time. It's going to be exciting. It will not go to Game 7. Moist Esports will go up 3-2, and everyone will be like, oh, they already won because match point. And I think FaZe is just going to fold under that pressure. I think in the back of their heads, they'll be knowing that, and they'll be knowing, okay, even if we win this Game 6, we'll have to win Game 7, and that'll be their undoing. So FaZe Clan go out top 4 because they are a 3rd, 4th clan, and that's how their season ends. Obviously, very respectable. Space Station Falcons. I got a bunch of comments last video for putting Space Station above Falcons. I looked like an idiot when Falcons went up 3-0. I was panicking, and then Space Station clawed it back to a Game 7 where Falcons eventually won by 1 point. The thing is, with you guys commenting, it probably helped the YouTube algorithm. And so I will continue to comment, or I will continue to say that Space Station will beat Falcons, and y'all can just do the work for me. Because I'm convinced that a lot of people who commented, there's no way this happened, actually heard my reasoning. And that's fine. Like, it's a 42-minute video back there. That was long. I'm trying to make this one shorter, but I'm at 37 minutes. So this is a longer event, in fairness. That's my defense. I'm still rambling. But I will have Space Station over Falcons yet again. It will be Game 7 yet again. Come at me. I dare you. I have Space Station in the finals because it's all about the storylines. It's all about beating their demons. And everyone knows that if the cards fall right, Space Station Gaming can do it. And I have complete flipping faith in this team to do it this tournament. Very rarely do I predict my team ever winning a tournament because then I don't have as much of a horse in it if they lose. That being said, I forgot that I predicted Moist to win last tournament, and then they did. And I was like, okay. I have been broken before. Ohio State lost to Oral Roberts in the NCAA tournament last year. They were a 2 seed, and I had them winning it all then. And I sat on the floor and cried as Dwayne Washington missed that shot. I will be sitting on the floor crying anyways if Space Station lose. Space Station 4-3, breaking the Moist Ice storyline, breaking their own demons. No one expects them to actually do it, but they think they can, and I think they can too. Space Station win the World Championship. And look, at the end of the day, I can predict the upper seed to win every single match. I could do that. I could have a G2 versus BDS Grand Final. I could have a Moist FaZe Clan Final like I did for the Spring Major. I think I had FaZe in there. I might have had someone else. But I can predict the expected team to make it every single time. That's a fun way to go about it. But it's never going to be right. It's Rocket League Esports. BDS went 0-6. The European Super Team went 0-6. So yes, there are tournament favorites. But those don't matter based on what we've seen in the spring. Everything has been so chaotic in the spring that it just doesn't matter. So predict who you think might win the matchup. Predict for the storylines because those prevail. Pioneers top 8. Falcons top 4. FaZe top 4. That one's predictable, actually. Moist still make the finals, but losing Game 7. Sure. this won't end up happening. But I'm standing by these predictions. Thank you for watching.